Have you ever noticed how some women, regardless of their age, seem to have this extraordinary magnetism? They're not necessarily the youngest or the most conventionally beautiful, but there's something about them. It's the way they carry themselves, how men seem drawn to them, constantly watching them, seeking them out and pursuing them. It's not just a coincidence. It's not just luck either. There's something deeper at play here. These women have perfected certain behaviors over time that make them effortlessly irresistible. The truth is, true seduction is not just about looks. It's not about the makeup or the expensive outfits. What really makes someone captivating is something deeper. It's the essence they project, the attitude they carry themselves with, and the confidence that radiates from within. That's where the real magic lies. In this video, I'm going to reveal 6 behaviors that transform any woman into someone magnetic. If you adopt these behaviors, you'll notice the difference. You'll see how men start to look at you differently, how they'll start pursuing you more, and how, without even trying, you'll begin to attract attention in ways you might not have experienced before. Stick around until the end because behavior number 6 is the most powerful of all. Most women don't even realize it, but once you start applying it, everything changes. So, what is it that makes a woman truly captivating? Many people think attraction is only about youth and physical beauty, but the reality is different. A more mature woman can often be even more fascinating than a younger one. Why? Because she has something that younger women often haven't fully developed yet. Self-confidence. She knows who she is. She's not constantly seeking validation from others. She doesn't question her worth. And that confidence? It's magnetic. Her life experiences have shaped her in ways that make her more selective. She knows exactly what she wants and what she doesn't. And she isn't afraid to reject things that don't align with her. There's a refinement and mystery to her that many younger women don't have. She knows how to keep people interested, how to maintain that air of intrigue. That's the key. Men don't just notice a woman's appearance. What truly draws them in is the energy she projects. Let me ask you this. Why do certain women, even if they aren't the youngest or the most conventionally perfect, seem to capture all the attention? It's because they radiate something deeper. There's a commanding presence in the way they move and express themselves. It's almost like their energy pulls people in. They don't need to demand attention. Their energy does it for them. And here's the best part. This isn't something you're born with. You can develop it. You can master behaviors that make you magnetic. So, now that we understand the power that you can cultivate, let's dive into the first behavior that will make men start seeing you with new eyes. Trust me, you'll start noticing a difference today. Confidence is the first behavior. And let me tell you something. Confidence is perceived before anything else. Before anyone notices your hair, your outfit, or your makeup, the first thing they pick up on is your confidence. It's the number one thing that makes you attractive. Confidence shows in the way you carry yourself, how you walk, how you talk, how you express yourself. A confident woman doesn't need validation from anyone. She naturally radiates it. Think about it for a second. Imagine you walk into a room and see 2 women. One of them is physically attractive, but she's slouching, avoiding eye contact, and she just seems a bit uncomfortable in her own skin. The other woman, even though she might not fit every beauty standard, walks into the room with her head held high. She has a determined stride, and her gaze is confident. Who do you think people will notice more? That's right. Confidence acts like a magnet. And the best part is you don't have to be born with it. Confidence is something you can develop and make work for you. There's actual science to back this up. Studies have shown that people with high self-confidence are perceived as more attractive, even if they don't fit conventional beauty standards. So why is that? Because confidence sends a clear message. I am valuable. I know what I want, and I don't need anyone's approval. Men don't just notice it, they feel it. And that energy draws them in like a magnet. So, how do you cultivate this in your daily life? It's all about posture. Walk with your back straight and your head held high. Your posture tells the world everything about your level of confidence. If you slouch or look down, you're projecting insecurity. But when you move with purpose, with determination, you project authority. Speak calmly and without rushing. Confident women don't feel the need to fill every silence or justify themselves. Their voice is measured and clear. Don't be afraid to take up space. Whether you're walking down the street, in a meeting, or having a conversation, make yourself noticed without seeking permission. Remember, how you present yourself to the world is how the world will perceive you. If you walk in with that energy, you'll begin to see how men and everyone else start seeing you differently. Now, let's move on to the next behavior, because this one will amplify your magnetism in ways most women don't understand. The second behavior I want to share with you is about not clinging to others. Desire often grows in uncertainty, and when you stop being constantly available, men will start seeking you out more. I'm sure you've noticed this before. When you stop chasing, men often start pursuing you more. It's not just by chance, it's psychology at work. A captivating woman doesn't beg for attention. She's not intense, and she's definitely not dependent on male validation. She understands that her value doesn't depend on how quickly someone replies to her or how often they reach out. The most fascinating women are never the ones who are chasing. They're the ones who inspire others to chase after them. Why does this work? Human nature makes us value what we might lose. Think about it. When a man feels like he's guaranteed to have you whenever he wants, he's less likely to invest in you. But when there's a bit of uncertainty, when he's not sure if you'll always be there, that's when his interest begins to grow. Here's a real-life example. Have you ever noticed how a man started showing more interest in you just when you became a little less available? Maybe you didn't respond immediately, or maybe you started doing your own thing. Suddenly, he's texting more, seeking you out, and noticing things about you that he didn't before. That's because when something seems guaranteed and predictable, it loses excitement. But when there's a bit of mystery, when he has to put in the effort to win your attention, that's when the attraction intensifies. This is where you begin to take control of the interaction. When you don't cling to a man, you shift the dynamic. It's no longer about you constantly proving your worth or seeking his attention. You're letting him feel the pull, making him want to invest in you. And that makes you incredibly magnetic. So, how can you apply this to your life? The key is to stop always being available. If you make yourself too accessible, if a man feels he can have you anytime he wants, he'll eventually lose interest. Instead, create space. Live your life. Keep doing the things that make you happy, pursue your passions, and engage in activities that fulfill you. You don't need to revolve your world around waiting for his text or wondering if he's thinking about you. Enjoy your own company. Learn to love being by yourself and embrace your hobbies. A woman who is comfortable in her own solitude radiates independence. And that's a huge turn-on. It's not about being cold or indifferent. It's about valuing yourself enough not to beg for attention. That's what makes you captivating. It's not just about rejecting a man or playing hard to get. It's about knowing your worth and allowing him to make the effort. You're not chasing him, he's chasing you. And that shift in energy changes everything. Now, let's move on to the third behavior that will really take your magnetism to the next level. The third behavior I want to talk about is having a style that reflects your personal power. Yes, visual appeal does matter, but not in the way many people think. There's a misconception that in order to be captivating, you have to follow the latest fashion trends, wear expensive clothing, or conform to certain beauty standards. But that's not the secret. The real key is how you wear what you wear. It's about owning your style and letting it reflect your personal power and authenticity. Think about it for a second. You've probably walked into a room and noticed a woman who just has this presence. She may not be wearing the most expensive outfit, and maybe she's not following every trend. But there's something about the way she carries herself, the way she's put together, and the unique style she exudes. That's what makes her magnetic. When you have your own sense of style, it becomes an extension of your inner energy. It's like you're saying to the world, "This is who I am, and I'm proud of it." And that's what makes you stand out. You don't need to follow trends. You don't need to wear things just because everyone else is wearing them. What really matters is finding what makes you feel powerful and authentic. The best part is that you don't need to have perfect features or follow the latest fashion rules to make an impact. You just need to own who you are and let your style express that. It's about embracing what makes you unique and walking with confidence in it. A study from Psychology Today even showed that people perceive someone as more attractive not because of their physical features, but because of the confidence they project through their style. A woman with a defined style stands out more than someone who might fit every beauty standard but lacks self-assurance. It's not about trying to look like someone else. It's about enhancing what makes you extraordinary. So, how do you create a style that makes you unforgettable? Start by choosing clothing that flatters your body. Not every piece of clothing suits every person, so it's important to figure out which styles, fabrics, and cuts complement your figure. If you have curves, for example, dresses that cinch at the waist will beautifully highlight your shape. If you're tall and slender, flowing cuts can help balance your silhouette. Colors also play a big role. Every color carries a different energy, and they can help you project different aspects of your personality. Red is bold and passionate. It's perfect when you want to be the center of attention. Black exudes mystery and sophistication. It's timeless and elegant. White can project purity and serenity, while navy blue communicates authority and intelligence. Earth tones, like browns and greens, are warm and approachable, creating a sense of trust and warmth. Don't forget your hair and makeup either. The key is not to go overboard. Instead, enhance your natural beauty. For example, a pop of red lipstick can instantly add sensuality. Radiant, well-cared-for skin, instead of heavy layers of foundation, always feels fresher and more alive. A flattering haircut that frames your face can also make a big difference. And don't underestimate the power of a signature scent. A unique perfume can make you unforgettable, leaving a lasting impression even when you're not around. The important thing to remember is that it's not about following beauty trends. It's about making sure your style speaks to your essence. When you feel powerful in what you wear, that energy radiates from you. And that's what makes you captivating. Now that we've talked about style, let's move on to the fourth behavior, which is all about mastering your feminine energy. The fourth behavior that I want to dive into is all about mastering your feminine energy. Feminine energy is crucial when it comes to attraction, but I think it's important to clear up a common misconception. Feminine energy has nothing to do with weakness, submission, or being dependent. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's about being able to influence without imposing, to receive without demanding, and to attract without chasing. It's about having the confidence that what you want will come to you without you needing to force it. Think of it this way. When you learn to master your feminine energy, you exude a kind of magic that makes people gravitate toward you without you even trying. It's about inspiring desire, not by pursuing it directly, but by creating an aura that makes others want to approach you. Many women make the mistake of thinking that to be attractive, they need to take control of everything and be the ones chasing men. But when you do this, it's easy to lose that spark of mystery. Attraction isn't about force. It's about flow. It's about giving space for curiosity to grow, for mystery to emerge. When you start imposing yourself too much, you take away the desire to win you over. But when you embrace your feminine energy, you create a presence that's elegant, alluring, and deeply captivating. The key is not to chase or control. It's to step back a little and allow men to come to you. You may have heard the phrase, "let him chase." There's truth to that. A woman who is too controlling or too proactive in the pursuit doesn't leave room for the man to feel the excitement of the chase. Allow him to take the initiative. If he asks to go out, instead of jumping in with plans, simply ask, "What do you have in mind?" Let him feel the desire to impress you. Another important point is to enjoy the present moment. A woman who is constantly worrying about the future, wondering if he'll text, if he wants something serious, or if he's just playing games, often pushes men away. That anxiety creates pressure. Men sense this and they shy away. But when you enjoy the moment without expectations or pressure, your energy is calm and relaxed, and that is magnetic. You're not dependent on his actions to make you feel secure. Instead, you're enjoying life as it is, without needing to control every outcome. The way you communicate also plays a big role. Women who are truly magnetic often use softer, slower communication. The tone of your voice is an incredible tool. When you speak more slowly, deliberately, and with pauses, you create anticipation and intrigue. For example, if you're in a conversation and you're responding to something he said, instead of rushing to answer, let there be a brief pause. This pause, even if it's only for a second, gives the conversation a sense of depth. It makes him want to know what comes next, and that makes you more captivating. Real-life research backs this up. Studies from the University of California show that men find women with a calm, relaxed, and receptive communication style more attractive. This kind of communication signals confidence and an effortless femininity. So, when you let him take the initiative, enjoy the present moment without obsessing about the future, and communicate slowly and deliberately, you'll find that men are drawn to you in a way that feels natural and magnetic. This kind of feminine energy isn't something you have to work hard at. It's more about stepping back and letting your natural allure come through. You allow things to happen without forcing them, and that effortless energy makes you irresistible. Now that we've explored feminine energy, let's move on to the fifth behavior, which focuses on mastering the art of conversation. The fifth behavior I want to discuss is mastering the art of conversation. A truly captivating woman knows that conversation isn't about filling every silence or trying to impress. It's about creating a connection. It's about sparking curiosity, intrigue, and interest. The most magnetic women don't talk incessantly about themselves or try too hard to capture someone's attention. They know that conversation is an opportunity to connect on a deeper level, to draw someone in with their words and presence. The secret is to speak less but say more. It's about using the power of silence, allowing the space between words to intensify the connection. Women who captivate with their conversations know how to keep things just mysterious enough to keep someone wanting more. They understand that attraction is built not just on words, but on the energy and intention behind those words. Psychological studies have shown that 80% of attraction is nonverbal. That means how you say something is far more important than what you actually say. The tone of your voice, your body language, and your ability to create tension and anticipation all play a huge role in making you captivating. The most attractive women don't speak the most. They know how to create an emotional connection with fewer words. So, how do you apply this to your life? First, use eye contact intentionally. Eye contact can communicate more than words ever can. When you look someone in the eyes and hold that gaze for a few seconds, it creates a sense of connection. It builds tension, making them want to know more about you. Don't shy away from making eye contact. Let your gaze linger, smile subtly, and then look away. This small act can have a huge impact on the way someone perceives you. Next, don't reveal everything about yourself right away. Mystery is a key element of seduction. If you're constantly oversharing your life story in one sitting, you take away the mystery. Instead, give brief answers and leave a little something for the next conversation. If someone asks about your weekend, instead of listing all the details, you could say, "It was amazing, but I'll tell you more about it another time." This simple act of withholding just enough will leave them curious about you, wanting to know more. Another way to captivate in conversation is by asking interesting questions. The best conversations aren't about talking about yourself constantly. They're about engaging the other person. Ask questions that spark their imagination or make them reflect. For instance, if you could live in any historical era, which one would you choose? Or what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Questions like these invite the other person to open up and make the conversation feel more dynamic and engaging. It's a great way to keep the connection strong and build rapport. Finally, play with your tone of voice and pacing. The way you say something has an undeniable effect. A soft, measured tone of voice, combined with a pause before you speak, creates intrigue and anticipation. For example, instead of just saying, "That's interesting," slow down the delivery, pause for a second, and say, "That's really interesting." The rhythm of your speech can make even the simplest phrase feel captivating. Remember, conversation is not about impressing someone with endless stories. It's about connection, energy, and presence. The most captivating women don't try too hard to win people over. They know how to create an environment where curiosity and attraction naturally thrive. And that brings us to the final, most powerful behavior. It's the sixth and most important one, independence. Now, independence is the greatest aphrodisiac. A woman who has her own life, who is passionate about her own goals, hobbies, and interests, is magnetic in ways that go far beyond her appearance. The truth is, the most attractive women are not the ones who try too hard to please or fit into a mold. They're the women whose lives are already so interesting that others want to be a part of them. Men are drawn to independent women because their energy radiates confidence, fulfillment, and security. When you build your life around your own dreams and passions, you don't need anyone to complete you. You're already whole. This independence makes you incredibly attractive because it signals that you are not dependent on anyone for validation. Your life is full, exciting, and purposeful, whether or not a man is a part of it. To cultivate independence, start by having a purpose beyond your relationship. Don't center your life around waiting for someone else to define your happiness. Pursue your passions, work toward your goals, and engage in activities that bring you joy. When you have a clear sense of purpose, you naturally project a confidence that draws others in. Men are attracted to women who are not sitting around waiting for validation. They're attracted to women who are busy living their best lives. Another important part of independence is surrounding yourself with people who elevate your energy. The people you spend the most time with have a big impact on your confidence and how you show up in the world. Avoid toxic friendships that drain you and surround yourself with people who inspire you to grow and be your best self. A strong, supportive circle will naturally boost your self-esteem and help you project even more magnetism. And don't forget to keep growing. The most captivating women are always evolving. They never stop learning, exploring, and developing. Whether it's reading, traveling, taking up new hobbies, or learning new skills, personal development is a key part of becoming more interesting and self-assured. The more you invest in yourself, the more others will be drawn to you. Ultimately, your independence is your greatest source of attraction. When you are truly independent, when your life is already fulfilling and purposeful, you don't need anyone else to complete you. That energy, that sense of self-sufficiency, is incredibly alluring. So, there you have it, the 6 behaviors that will make you captivating. Confidence. Not clinging to others, having a style that reflects your personal power, mastering your feminine energy, the art of conversation, and independence. When you master these behaviors, you'll begin to see the transformation in how men, and people in general, perceive you. Attraction isn't about luck or genetics. It's about the energy you project, the behaviors you embody, and the way you carry yourself through the world. When you start living with confidence, independence, and mystery, you'll find that the world starts responding to you differently. Which of these behaviors do you feel you already master? And which one do you think you need to work on the most? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment below and share your opinion. I can't wait to read them.